What is up, world? How's everyone doing? It is the Bartley and Barnes show, the Bartley and Barnes podcast, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
We are here, Jacob Bartley, Keith Barnes. We are here and alive and trying to make it work. What's going on, Keith?
We're about 6 feet apart, just about, probably.
Actually, we are. We are
exactly 6 feet apart.
Not to make any jokes, but we are actually practicing social distancing right now.
Yeah.
That is roughly 6 feet.
I think so.
So we are, it looks like we're close together because the way the cameras are, but we could be in different houses on the other side of town.
We could.
Yeah.
We might be
Hi,
soon.
Brian. How's it going?
Brian.
The third B.
Our other B.
The third killer
We do
B.
need money for stuff.
Yes. Brian is making an in and out run.
Yes.
The guy who just hangs out in the background I think somehow, some way he makes an appearance on the show. Not a literal appearance, but just a comment or something like that on the show. But yes, we are here to talk about some stuff, do our normal slate of topics.
Yes.
But I just wanted to say, man, like, what the hell is going on? And think the way it's crazy to me because we talked about on Apocalypse Now how much changed in a week. How much has changed since our last time we did the Bartley and Barnes show? So much.
Yeah. It's been. So it's 2 weeks ago. It was still ramping up. It was, because it started, January, whatever, over there overseas, and just snowballed into. Not going to get political necessarily, but just from us being constantly told it's no big deal, we got it under control, to now school's out until who knows when, everything's closed, we can't go anywhere really.
It's crazy, man. I'm still processing it all.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I can't know. Like every morning I wake up, I'm like, I take a second to remember this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's affecting us differently, right? I think you have to go to work.
Yeah.
Basically, with what your job is.
We're considered essential.
Working at FedEx.
Yeah.
I just work for a company who does educational stuff on elementary school campuses. So luckily, there's a lot of planning and a lot of work that goes into creating our schedules and all that stuff that goes on in the background, which is mainly my job.
Yeah.
So luckily, and we don't know what's going to happen. I don't think school's coming back this year.
I don't think so either.
It's definitely not. And then we don't even know how summer's going to look.
Yeah.
So my company's basically planning for next school year, which is we don't even know if that's going to happen. So it's tough, but I'm so thankful and blessed that as of now I still get to work 4 days a week from home.
Right.
And there's so many people
really great.
losing their jobs.
Yeah, which is so sad.
My owners weren't sure at first what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But they told us on Thursday, yesterday we had a meeting like over the phone. We've been working all week since Wednesday. We've been working from home.
Right.
And they said, all right, here's the plan. This is what we're doing. We're going to get all next school year ready. And they're going to keep the office staff employed 4 days a week working from home. So I'm thankful to them for that.
Yeah.
The problem is, and I think this is for anyone, you don't know when that's going to change.
Yeah.
They could be like, look, this is not working. If they're losing money, it doesn't make sense. And the thing is, I can't get too mad. You can't get too mad at your employer for doing that because there's nothing at a certain point they don't have a choice.
That's the thing about this, because we're in a recession and because of this. And if
that
different sectors are not working and there's consumers, that's big. Our economy is boosted by consumerism mostly, but if people aren't spending money, then businesses aren't making money, including even companies like yours are not making money, and it snowballs and it trickles down, and it sucks. It really does.
I don't even know. It's so unreal.
Yeah.
It's so unreal. And luckily, I mean, there's things like unemployment and all that, but it's not ideal.
Well, no, because even that can only last so long. And that's going to run out eventually, and then
yeah.
really
What happens when 80% of the population is on unemployment. Are they going to keep providing us with those funds? And I think each individual person, depending on how long they worked, only has a certain amount of unemployment funds available to them.
Right.
And maybe they make exceptions for this
because of this
during this.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't even lose your your unemployment funds that you would normally get.
Yeah.
I think that would be the right thing to do.
Yeah, definitely.
And not speaking just selfishly for myself, but for anyone.
Oh, no, totally.
You know?
Yeah, just
that makes sense.
Right.
I think the whole entire world, every business, needs to make exceptions during this time.
I think New York is they've stopped all evictions.
That has to happen.
And it's like duh, but
because
like
what are they gonna do? The thing is, like, people are not gonna be able to pay their rent eventually,
right.
And the property managers, they're still gonna charge us rent no matter what.
Right.
So the thing is, I don't know how to fix that, but it's like, okay, if they lose their tenants because they can't pay their rent and they evict them because they can't pay their rent, you think people are moving in right now?
Exactly.
No one's going to move in.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're losing money anyway. No, you're not. No one's going to be replaced. A lot of people aren't going to be moving during this time,
right,
unless they already had it planned.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make sense. I don't know how they're going to handle it. There has to be something where basically the whole world is just paused during this time.
If you can.
Yeah.
If you can, we can hold out as long as we can. I don't imagine this whole thing of kind of staying in sort of thing will last much longer than maybe a month, because otherwise, they'll be rioting in the streets, and this country's too big. You can't do that in America. You can do it in smaller countries where we're seeing that happen, but we got to start letting people out and let people get to work and other things. Yeah. So
the economy is going to tank.
Exactly.
It already is.
We couldn't. Exactly. And so the problem is between now and that point, whenever that comes, what's going to happen. But yeah, you got to bail out situations like that. Not airlines, because nobody's flying, so don't need to bail out airlines. But get like property companies. Let them give them a cash whatever.
Exactly.
Give them
so people can keep their homes.
Right.
Right. The important things.
Exactly. Stuff like that.
I feel bad for all industries and all companies.
Yeah. All sectors.
I feel bad, but the thing is, it's down to what's most important:
right.
Keeping people sheltered, keeping people fed,
right,
and keeping people healthy.
Yeah.
That's what we have to protect. And it's like schools. It sucks that a cruise line is going to go out of business, but is that important when it comes to the survival of humans?
Yeah. Or even to be honest, and we do need airlines, but they make enough money. First of all, they charge for everything. They've got money.
A pecking order of significance of all these things, right? And
yeah, I'm not worried about the airlines.
It's like cruise lines are at the very bottom of that list, but then like airlines are more important than cruise lines.
Definitely,
because cruise line is just an extra like vacation type thing, You have to travel for work and all those things through the air.
That's why I understand.
But with technology these days, we can still do a lot of work telecommuting.
And so and if you gotta drive, you gotta drive. That's what I'm saying. People got to be able to get from point A to point B. You gotta help. And in that situation, we need to make sure that auto repair companies can stay in business.
Yes. So thing about that is, I had a nail in my tire.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, can I go get my tire fixed? And I look it up because I go to the Honda dealership to get it done because I trust them, and I have a Honda. So I look it up; they're open. I go, I get my tire fixed, and I'm looking around while I'm driving. It looks like a lot of places are still open, but if you look, I was looking at it. So obviously, like the fast food restaurants are still open because people got to eat. But there was a tire repair shop, Firestone, still open. Verizon store closed.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, right? Because people, the Verizon store doesn't need to be open. People can buy a new phone online. People can get help over the phone, things like that. So it makes sense, essential businesses. And I think vehicle repair should be one. Because people still need to, there's some people that have to drive to work. Nurses, I don't know if nurses are going home and then going back to work and back to the hospital, but they have to.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. And the thing that upsets me the most about how humanity's reacting to it is just the hoarding of essential supplies, of toilet paper, of hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
I'm a person, I use hand sanitizer every day of my life. I keep it in my car. Whenever I go to the bank or the gas station, I use hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
I can't even buy it now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, toilet paper. It went from toilet paper to paper towels. Like, we can't even get paper towels.
I know.
Like, why are y'all buying up all the paper towels? Can't even.
The word of advice to people, which I've been doing, is like we use toilet paper to blow our nose, to wipe something off something. Buy tissues. So if you go to the stores, they still have boxes of tissues.
Some of tissues, yeah.
Buy tissues and make sure you're only using tissues to wipe your nose,
right.
To do anything else other than use toilet paper only for toilet paper.
All the paper goods are gone, which is insane because we make a lot of that. They're going to have all that. Like, we're not running out of.
So the thing is, for me, I was like, why aren't these companies, speeding up the production? And I read an article that they already basically operate 24/7 and produce as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
They already do that. So
that's why I understand why people freaked out and bought it all, because we always have that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's mostly done here in America.
Yeah. So it really upsets me, and it made me think of something. And it's like, if this COVID-19 thing is some higher entity testing humanity, we are failing that test. So if people have different beliefs. If you believe there's a higher being or something, and a lot of people believe that we're individually being tested, as a society, as a human race being tested. Yeah. If that's true for this, we are failing.
Yeah.
Because there's people sitting there with 30 packs of toilet paper in their garage, while there's families with 7 kids that don't have toilet paper. Yeah. And that's wrong. So So I'm just
in line for an hour or 2 hours to get it.
It really sucks, but ridiculous. Not to open the show on a somber note, but that's the world we live in.
It's reality right now. Yeah, it may get worse before it gets better. To be honest, I hate to say, but
no, it definitely is. And one thing that we probably won't see on time is the NFL season, and no great way to segue out of that. But we'll move on to the warm up, our sports discussion segment of the show, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL. Luckily, the commissioner is allowing teams to announce their signings. Mm-hmm. They're technically not supposed to do it until it's confirmed they pass physical, but nobody can go through a physical right now.
Right.
So basically, all these free agency signings are being announced, and the biggest one, of course, is Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers. We have Todd Gurley being cut by the Rams and signing with the Falcons immediately on a 1-year deal.
And Clay Matthews, I saw they cut Clay Matthews
really
as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow. We have Melvin Gordon, the Chargers running back, signing with Denver, which now they have 3 running backs. And what did they pay him? Because they already have Philip Lindsay and the other guy. He was a rookie the same year with Philip Lindsay. I forget his name. He was supposed to be the starter, but Philip Lindsay balled out. So they already now. What is Melvin Gordon going to do? Melvin Gordon's not going to be their workhorse. I don't think, and he's not. Running backs burn out fast, and maybe he's not the same anymore. You know what? This is not a free agency signing, but you know what sucks for me is we're both big Derrick Henry fans, right? I love Derrick Henry. He's the best running back in the league.
Yes.
And he gets franchise tagged. So now he gets franchise tagged. He had one of the best seasons by a running back in NFL history. Yeah. Should have signed. Look at the deal that Zeke Elliott got, right? Derrick Henry right now is better than Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
And I like Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah. I respect him, and I always have him in fantasy football. So, but Derrick Henry's better than him, and Zeke Elliott has I don't even remember an 8-year deal and over $100 million.
Which
And Derrick Henry, if he gets injured or has a bad season, no, he's gonna not get that big paycheck.
Yeah, exactly.
It's terrible. But anyways, what do you think about Tom Brady going to the Bucs?
Well, real quick on that, and so also very quietly because of everything going on, all the big free agent stuff, they signed a new CBA.
Oh yes. Okay. Well, that would have been our main topic if there were the free agency signing. So, do you know the main stuff off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, because I just saw that they signed it. I just saw them talking about it. I didn't really get into it, but I know I've been saying for years it'll never happen, but because the players won't hold out for it. But get rid of that franchise tag.
Oh, it's terrible.
Get rid of it.
It's terrible.
they're not willing to miss games over it, so fine. They just let the owners do that to them. But they complain about it every year, but they won't unify and fight that off. But oh well. But yeah, Tom Brady to the. So we were briefly talking about it, and it could either be spectacular, it could be like Peyton Manning, his first year in Denver, like I said, or it could be Montana Montana was pretty good in the first year in KC with the Chiefs. It wasn't obviously the old Montana, but or Joe Namath, as I said earlier, Joe Namath with the Chargers, which was not good. Willie Mays playing for the Mets, which people don't realize or remember. That's really a super old reference there, but Willie Mays played for the Mets.
That's crazy.
Which people don't at the end of his career. And it happens. A lot of great players. I saw a Twitter thread where this player, somebody tweeted, wish I thought about it earlier, I would have brought it up. But players at the end of their careers and how weird when they change teams. You know, Hakeem Olajuwon played at the end of his last season with the Raptors, which people don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, a big one is Michael Jordan playing for the Wizards.
Jordan in Washington.
Your team, right? One of your teams.
That was so surreal, that whole thing.
Do you have a Jordan happening. Wizards jersey?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
I gave it to my old sister-in-law,
Nice.
younger sister-in-law. But yeah, so it was. It happens. You see it. Who else? I'm trying to think of some more. Jerry Rice played his last year with the Seahawks, which was crazy to see. Tom Brady's still, at worst, he's a good quarterback in the NFL right now. So you could clearly see his decline.
I do think that his playoff experience and clutch plays in high pressure moments is going to be valuable.
Oh yeah,
and that roster, that offense is primed for just excellence.
A guy like him.
Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I can't think of a better duo in the NFL right now. They are monsters. They're both monsters, and they just all around the defense is improving, and it's just they have the two tight ends. I have a feeling it's going to be a Peyton Manning first 2 years in Denver situation.
Probably.
I think it is.
I think it probably. I think he'll be good. He's still. Yeah. Again, you could see his decline. He is clearly declining.
Absolutely.
So he's going to go out there and throw for, 5,000 yards and 39 touchdowns. But
the thing is, he's not really a deep ball threat type quarterback. He's not one, but that's not his.
Depends. They've had years where he was, and sometimes
no one says
pretty moderate.
Brady's monster arm. It's more about his resilience and accuracy and those type of things.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they weren't really big on putting up points until that 1 year when Randy Moss got there.
Yeah.
Then they turned into the 02 Rams or 2000, whatever that was.
The Kurt Warner.
Yeah, Kurt Warner. Rams. Yeah, all the greatest show on turf. But I can't wait to see it if and when the season gets going. That's a huge one, man. And we don't have. We were kind of listing Gio Ramos when he was here earlier on the team, talking about other quarterbacks with that kind of longevity. We don't have a whole lot of them right now. I think Aaron Rodgers was maybe Rodgers. Well, Phillip Rivers just went to the Colts.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers is with the Colts. Teddy Bridgewater is not related to that, but Teddy Bridgewater signed with the Panthers, which is going to be good for him. I was always rooting for him in Minnesota, and he got injured.
He would have been awesome. Yeah.
Look at his record with the Saints this year. I mean,
he wasn't solid. He didn't throw it a whole lot.
He wasn't the reason they were winning, but he kept the team afloat.
He wasn't. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't losing them games. Mm-hmm. So and he looked okay enough to play. He could still play in the league for sure. He was awesome in college, man. I thought he was going to be a superstar, which he still might be. But who else? What else? We had wasn't that another one? So you lost in all this. Who do the Chargers have? Nothing. No winning.
Well, Tyrod Taylor has been named the starter.
Has he?
Yeah.
Tyrod
Taylor
is from Virginia Beach.
Really?
Yeah, he's from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I think he went to
that could change. There's still Jameis Winston's still available. Cam Newton's going to be available soon. That could change, but I might take Tyrod over both of those guys, to be honest. He's not great, but I don't know. If I were the Chargers, I would take a chance on Jameis.
I would too.
Look, he threw all those picks, but What did his yardage that season?
That's what I'm saying. He can throw the ball. He's erratic, but he can throw it.
Yeah.
He's no worse than Favre was reckless too, and nobody cared about that. But everybody loved him. He's gunslinger. James Winston's the same.
Yeah.
Brett Favre would go out there and not run plays. He would just go out there and just throw the ball around, and he would just throw it all over the place. He's throwing how many game-ending interceptions Brett Favre threw in his career, but nobody really looks at that because it's Brett Favre, and he's that big G and green G on his helmet, and Green Bay Packer mystique, which is a myth. Green Bay fans listen. I'm going to upset some Green Bay Packer fans. It's a big chunk of their history where they were not good, from the 70s all the way up until Favre got there in the 90s, where the Packers were not a good team. Because nobody wanted to go there, because free agency. That's the thing that's special about this, because there was no free agency in the NFL until the 90s with Reggie White going to Green Bay, and you don't get these kinds of changes.
Yeah, there's just so many
in the NFL,
changes.
because the NBA does it every year, because there's no real.
There's normally still, even to this day, there's normally not this many changes.
Right.
But now
it's crazy that it's happens.
Crazy. There's so many changes.
Because there's never any real true free agency in the NFL because of how convoluted their contracts are. Because of franchise tagging and stuff like that. Yeah. So big names like this don't often change teams, and so
it's normally through trades.
Yes,
if it does happen.
And in football, if a guy's getting traded, it's because he can't play anymore. To be honest,
for the most part,
or he's injured.
Unless you're the freaking Houston Texans and trading away fucking maybe the best receiver in the league.
In the game.
I mean, Michael Thomas.
It's those two.
Yeah.
It's them.
But Michael Thomas is the most reliable player in the NFL. But DeAndre Hopkins is the most just exciting, explosive receiver in the NFL.
He had a big chunk of this year, and he had a good year because I had him in fantasy. He had a big chunk of this year where he really didn't. He went about 6 or 7 games without without a touchdown.
That's true.
But he's a monster.
It was him and Deshaun Watson, which you could say they're a championship contender because of them two.
If I'm, like I said earlier, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm demanding a trade right now.
The thing is, what did they get for it?
David Johnson, a running back who you can buy. You can get a running back anywhere. And they traded the best.
Deshaun Watson should force a trade to San Diego.
Get me out of here.
Or not San Diego, but L.A. Chargers.
Whatever. Because L.A.
The thing is, I don't want him to go to New England where he has no weapons. I would want him to go somewhere where the Chargers. It's
bad enough. He plays for a terrible O-line. He's been getting beat up for the last 2 years. Go somewhere with a good O-line that'll protect him.
Yeah, and if he had that O-line,
they would have been. And him and Hopkins would have.
It's up to between him, Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson are.
Those are the three best.
Any of those three could be the best quarterback in the league.
And I would throw in Wilson. And those are the 4.
And the funny thing is, Russell Wilson is 10 years older than all of them.
Yeah, right. I know.
Because I thought Russell Wilson should have won the MVP this past season. I honestly do. Because
I can understand
the Ravens' whole team is stacked.
I know.
The Seahawks are not.
No, they're not.
And Russell Wilson was monster.
I used to think Russell Wilson. I used to always say about him, another Virginia guy. He's from Richmond, Virginia. I used to say that he was either a great bad quarterback or a bad good quarterback. Like I couldn't tell which. Like
I used to really hate him because I'm a Niners fan, and I used to during the.
He always finds a way. He always gets out of those
era where they won the Super Bowl and then lost to the Patriots. I hated him, and in the past couple years, I respect him so much, and I don't even dislike the Seahawks anymore.
Yeah,
but Russell Wilson is so underrated.
He is.
I mean, not underrated, but he's not appreciated by
I think
football fans. Right. He's so great
because he's so earnest and he's such a he's
not a flashy guy.
Right. And these people think he's phony, and he's not. I think he's genuine.
He's so small.
Good dude.
He's not tall.
Right.
He's
he makes plays, man. Just every time you think, okay, they got him sacked, and he just figures a weasels his way out of it. 3-4 guys and finds somebody wide open on the other side of the field, and
or just runs it himself.
Pick up a 4th and 20 something, and he'll run himself, do a little slide.
Brady to the Bucs is gonna be so weird seeing him in that uniform.
I know, man.
Isn't it? I thought he was one of those guys like Kobe. Well, even though Kobe was gonna leave
he tried to get out
certain times, but I thought he was gonna be one of those guys who retires with the same team.
I
his
know.
whole career.
And they let him go. That's the thing, too. They let him go. So
yeah, well, they weren't going to pay him $30 million a year. And
which is, on the one hand, I get it. Because then, I mean, they need that, right? You can't have all your money tied up in one. And a guy
and
that
it would have
age,
hurt the team overall.
It would have hurt the team.
Because like we said, at worst, he's a good quarterback. And they're probably going to replace him with another good quarterback.
Eventually. And he took pay cuts for years to help out the team. So I understand him. No, I want to get paid now.
And I don't blame him. His last 2 years of his career, he gets to live in Tampa Bay.
Sure.
He gets to throw to those guys.
Nice warm weather.
In my opinion, they're automatically a Super Bowl contender.
NFC
I think
contender.
So.
Yeah.
I really
Probably.
do think so.
Certainly,
it's not just about the play. It's about the whole. Everyone else is going to play their ass off for him.
When we talked about it, when we were guessing, it wasn't the last episode, the episode before, where we were guessing. I said Miami.
Yeah,
but I just
because you were thinking about.
I had it in my head, a Florida team. I knew it's going to be a Florida team, and then the other one I said was Jacksonville, but Tampa. I was like, well, okay, there you go. It makes sense. It made sense to me. Like this, it's a retirement town too. Tampa.
Exactly.
That's where you go to retire.
So, good for him. I'm happy for him, to be honest. And who knows? Maybe he wins one more Super Bowl. We'll see. All right. Well, moving on to our main topic of today, which I'm so excited to talk about. I avoided talking about it with you because I wanted to save it for the show.
Yes.
And that is The Invisible Man. I finally watched it.
So glad you saw it.
I watched it in a theater. Do you remember those, kids?
Yeah.
Movie theaters? Hopefully we don't go into an era where they don't exist anymore.
I was going to say, that might be the last movie you've ever seen in a theater.
You know what? No, you know what would be? It would be The Way Back.
Oh, you did see that, didn't you?
Yeah,
That's right.
I saw The Way Back in theaters. So that would be... It's a great movie, but very sad and depressing movie. Might be my last movie. But Invisible Man... All right, so in the notes, I put why Invisible Man is the best movie of the year, because this is not a year. This is not going to be a full slate of movie years.
And best picture winner.
What are they going to do about the Oscars? They still have to hold the Oscars as normal, right?
Well, I would imagine they would just give out the awards
to the movies that came out, right?
No ceremony. Just
that, but also think about this, like, okay, actually the small indies that would have came out in November will still come out, like not in theaters, but they'll have to change the qualifications of
you're right,
releasing theatrically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
We'll see how long.
Hey, Invisible Man might win Best Picture. But I'm telling you, man, you guys were raving about it.
Yeah.
And everyone was raving about it online. The critics, everything else, like, can't be that good. Come on, it can't be that good. Oh my God. And I'm being honest with you, from January to March, the best start to a movie year ever. To be honest with you, I've seen 5 movies in theaters: The Gentleman, Harley Quinn, Emma, The Way Back, and Invisible Man. All of them really good to great.
Yeah,
5 movies that came out, and I'm like, yes, this is gonna be the best year of movies ever.
Yeah,
I've
only seen 3.
Not anymore.
I saw Birds of Prey, I saw Sonic, and this one.
And I love every movie I've seen, and The Invisible Man, spoiler discussion. Let's get into it, man. So I never got to talk to you about why you think it's the best, or why you like it so much. You haven't claimed it that. You've only seen 3 movies. It's not fair, I guess. But what about it specifically did you like so much? Or you actually were the one who wasn't raving as much.
I thought it's just very good.
You acknowledged it was good, but you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Love Elizabeth Moss, first of all. I've been watching a bunch of interviews with her. So I didn't really know a whole lot about her. This and Us are the only things I've seen her in. I'm going to count the West Wing, which I used to watch when she was.
And you've seen
like
episodes
16.
of Mad Men.
But Mad Men as well.
Her character's so good in Mad Men.
Yeah, she's very good. Is it secretary, I think?
Well, she was only for the first season, and then she got promoted.
Yeah.
She's like their main writer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she's very delightful. She's a great interview, man. She's really funny. She's got a great personality. I really like her. Her and Katie have the same exact birthday.
Wow.
January 24, 1982.
That's crazy.
So I really liked her. the opening scene was one of the most tense openings I said since Inglourious Bastards that I've watched. Not as tense as far as the tension.
Yeah.
And the suspense. Because it's real, just her trying to literally sneak out. And you really feel for, like I said, I just got a sense of, man, that is a terrible situation for women to be in.
Can you imagine that? It's
you're having to sneak out of your house, just your home, this abusive situation that you're in. Like, that sucks. That really sucks. And so, certainly shout out to all the women out there that are in those situations. And hopefully, there's somebody you can go to. You got help. You don't have to sneak out like that. But if you can, by all means, get out of there. But
we won't get into
this
as much, but that's why this movie's so important.
Right.
And it's so great, and it's socially relevant.
100%. Because she's a woman that, even though she got away, she's still being psychologically tortured by this man. The whole thing
is a metaphor for how traumatized she is afterwards. And how, in the movie, there's this invisible man coming after her. All the other characters are like...
Or so we'd think. Because even for a good stretch of it, because a lot of it, honestly, it got to a point where she does such a good job, and the movie does such a good job, where you kind of think...
Are they going to pull, like, she's imagining it the whole time?
Maybe there's nothing there, like I said. Because I love the placement of the camera, the way the framing.
If it wasn't based on the Universal classic monster movie,
right.
I would have guessed, like,
maybe not.
Maybe it's one of those twists where he's never really
nothing there,
which would have been crazy. But all the other characters are like, oh, you're just having a hard time right now. Like, he's dead. He's not coming after you. And so it kind of shows how traumatized an individual could be after being abused like that.
Exactly. Even knowing, like, no, he's dead. Like, we've got proof. And so, let me ask you a question, just to kind of jump ahead. Do you think he did all that stuff?
Yeah.
You think it was him?
Yes, I 100% think it was him.
He definitely faked his death.
At first, I wasn't sure, but no, it was definitely him.
Scratch that. I can't say definitely. I'm not sure.
Here's the thing.
He did some of that stuff.
Here's the thing. When he goes when he's at the insane asylum, watching her in the thing, she stabs him with the pen, and his suit starts glitching.
Yeah, that's a good effect.
When you get to the house, the man and his daughter, that suit is not glitching anymore. So that was he was at this insane asylum. The main guy was at the insane asylum. That was him.
No, it was glitching.
I don't think it was.
Yeah. Because she shot him.
After she shot him only. It wasn't glitching before that from the stab. So look.
I don't remember.
So at the insane asylum,
yeah.
When she grabs the pen from the shower and stabs him, and he's in that hallway scene when he's killing all the cops.
That actually was driving me nuts because, okay. There were moments, this is kind of connected to that.
Yeah.
Where, like, the first time where I think the first time we know that he's there is when she goes outside and you can see the breath.
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure that was the first.
Yeah, I believe so.
Jake said you see him one earlier time.
It's the sheet, right? When he pulls the sheet off. Okay.
But
it's right after that, right? Isn't it the sheet?
Jake said you can see him walk in the hallway really quickly. In the beginning.
I don't remember. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, you see the breath.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember thinking, well, how? Because she left the door open. She didn't step out that far. So I'm kind of wondering, like, how did he? Because he must have.
He's really good at just like squeezing
just slipping.
through the door.
Yeah, he had to. Because in that scene when she stabbed in the shower, there was just her and the.
And he apparently has a way to make his footsteps just not make any sound.
Exactly. That's why I was
maybe
watching.
Maybe he designed the suit like that.
Quiet, like stealth.
Yeah, I would imagine so. They don't have to get into all the science of the suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Still,
maybe, yeah.
But for me, no, I thought about that, but I do think it was him the whole time. I think it was only his brother at the end, and he set up his brother to go get caught.
I don't know. He definitely did.
Because this is what I was trying to explain. Is look when she stabs him at the insane asylum, and that hallway scene is amazing, by the way. Yeah. When he's killing all those people, that incredible. But now, so his suit's glitching in the hospital hallway, and when he's fighting all them, and then it's glitching outside.
Yeah.
And she talks to him, and it's his voice. And then, so after that,
when he says
after that,
the dinner, Well, never. Go ahead.
After that, he tells his brother to go to the house. When the daughter and the man are being attacked by that guy, the suit's not glitching yet. So
I don't remember.
You
might be right.
It's not glitching, and then she shows up and shoots him, and then it starts glitching. So it was only his brother at that point. Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like it did.
After she shot him.
When the little girl from
maybe
Time.
When he got stabbed, it started glitching.
Yeah.
It started glitching the rest of the movie.
But what I'm saying, that was it was him, it was the boyfriend at the insane asylum, and then it was the brother at the house.
But look, when she's attacking the daughter and her friend, the dad, that's how she was able to shoot him, because she could see him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch it, which I will soon.
Because they were both like, because he was beating up the dad, the daughter was freaking out.
Yeah, maybe she
walked in. She told the little girl, "Get back."
Everything until, if that's true, then I'm gonna have to rewatch it and check. But if that's true, then maybe everything until the insane asylum was him, and it was his brother. You think his brother was the one doing? No, because when she's in the insane asylum, when she first gets strapped to the bed, and he says "surprise." It's his voice, because that's how they show you at the end that it was him.
Yeah.
And him and his brother have different voices.
They were definitely working together, for sure.
Oh, yeah. But he set up his brother.
He set up his brother.
For sure. Worst brother ever.
I'm curious which one of them faked the death, though. Like, because, and I wonder, like whose idea was it?
I mean, the other guy is a super genius scientist. So
yeah, like a world leader.
All right, what do you think about it being a suit and not like a serum type thing?
So we were talking about it.
I love that.
And that was a good.
I love it because it makes sense in the modern day, and it makes it so there's no magical or mystical elements to it. I love it.
Makes sense, but also, and this is one of those things where if you think about it too hard, but how does that suit work?
I know, right?
How does that work? It's cameras.
Yeah.
How are you? What's it? Because you think it would be something reflective.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I
it's
don't
just
care.
cameras. It's just.
Cool.
But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's a suit. How's it?
It's like Spider-Man.
I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, like the helicarrier has those reflective panels that flips around and all of a sudden it's just reflecting the sky.
When I saw that reveal, I was
so
cool.
She's looking at the little monitor and like, wait, what am I looking at? And then when she touches and she sees it, I went, oh, it's a suit. Oh, wow. So yeah, same thing. I'm glad it wasn't some weird, like a serum or some kind of silly whatever thing. But so that was a very, very good idea there with that. But I love the cast. I love the supporting cast.
Amazing.
So the restaurant scene.
All right, so that's the thing.
One of the most shocking.
Probably the most shocking
I've seen in years.
That and the Thanos snap in Infinity War. The most shocking thing.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to
I've ever
spoiler
seen in a
alert
movie.
for The Departed if you haven't seen it. But when near the end of the last 20 minutes or so of The Departed, when DiCaprio gets shot, when he finally catches Matt Damon, he's like, "All right, I'm taking you in." The elevator opens.
Oh, that.
And I'm just like, like the whole theater, you can hear it in the theater, like the air just got sucked out.
And the main character, and it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
it's like nobody expected that.
Yeah, and like that's how I felt watching this. The same thing. I was watching this, and it was not that many people in there because it was morning, but yeah, you could hear audible gasps all around the theater when that happened.
I was enjoying the movie. It was good. When that happened, I could not believe it, first of all. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And a shot of adrenaline went through me.
You could just
that lasted throughout the whole rest
sense
of the movie.
Oh no, she's done. What is she gonna do? Like, there's nothing she can do. Like, how's she gonna get out of this? That's all. Which I love that.
Well because because a lot of people think they're smarter than the movie is.
Yeah.
And they can figure it out.
Yes.
And this put you in the situation where like, nope. How do you think she's gonna get out of this?
There's no way out of this. Yeah.
Nope. And I could not believe it. The way they did that, and it's like they set up the sister relationship, right? They're having this conflict, but they care about each other, obviously. And then they meet at the restaurant, and the way they did it, you see the knife floating in the air, and you're like,
what?
Okay, he's obviously standing right there.
Yeah.
Like he's just messing with them.
Right.
And then, I would. And then they put it in her hand, and her reaction.
I know. She's just like
her reaction, and then everybody in the restaurant.
Everyone just turns their head and sees it, and
that is one of the best, most effective scenes I've ever seen in a movie. I was gonna say in a horror movie, but
Oh no, anything.
in any movie,
Yeah.
it's so good,
Brutal, shocking,
And-
sad.
And the thing is, you feel for because it's her sister.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, what if I watched that happen to my sibling right in front of me? How can you mentally deal with that?
And they were having a tough time with each other anyway.
How
you
can
know,
you
they had a
mentally
tough relationship.
deal with that? And I mean, the villain, the boyfriend, whatever. He right from the very first shot of the movie, you're like, "F this guy, he deserves to die."
Yes.
But when he does that, it's like, oh my goodness.
So when she does what she does at the end, which I think that was him, personally, not the brother. But at the same time, though, there's only 2 suits. There would have had to been a 3rd suit if.
Yes.
Because she takes the one and hides it.
Okay,
which I thought was smart. That was well done because she didn't know about his hiding.
I love the ending.
Or he didn't know about her hiding.
I love the ending. I thought the ending was great because she did to him what he did to her sister.
Yeah.
And yes, I agree with you that I think that was him and not his brother who did that. And the ending's great. And it's very powerful that she was the one to do it and she outsmarted him. Right. My one issue with the movie. If she went in there and took a suit and hid it, this guy's a genius. He would be like, wait a minute, one of my suits is missing.
I think he just assumed the brother had it.
I don't know. The thing is, for me, the villain character, he's not that stupid.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's invisible, so he might not even notice that it was missing, to be honest. And if it was, he might just assume that the brother had it.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay.
I thought about that, too.
I don't think he would be like, just let that go, that there's a suit missing
but I think it wouldn't even occur to him. He would have thought it was there.
Yeah. But other than that, the way she outsmarts him and how the thing is, they set it up so well because they let you know right when the movie starts that there's cameras everywhere in his house. She made sure that
to find those blind spots because she knows where they are.
That it would be caught on camera.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like he's grabbing the knife and slitting his own throat and
the way she backs up into that blind spot to go, all right, got you. Yeah,
and then
pretty
she
much.
says
like,
surprise.
Yeah, or surprise, yeah.
So
awesome.
damn good.
And then as something that sometimes bothers me in movies, I obviously because of what happened to her, you know, she's innocent. I let it slide. But when the police officer is just like, okay, all right, fine. Do your job. You're a cop. But at the same time, he knows.
What, you think he should have arrested her?
No. Sometimes I don't like that in movies where.
But I guess technically he does not have any proof that she did it.
That's exactly right. So that's what.
And they said the suit that they got on his brother was too damaged. They can't figure out how it worked or anything. Like they can't prove that it was an invisible suit.
Exactly.
And he says the people at the hospital reported some weird stuff, but they can't confirm that there was an invisible man in the place.
But they can definitely know it wasn't her.
And
so
invisible or not, I guess the guy's also like a trained special martial artist too, because even though he's invisible, all that stuff he was doing, taking out cops like that.
That's what I'm watching that scene. That's my only issue too. First of all, there was one moment where he gets the first guy.
And his brother's a trained martial artist too when they're fighting at the house. Yeah. So I guess they're rich. So.
Well, he takes out the first security guard. Gun falls right there while she's on the ground. I'm like, pick up the gun and shoot him right down.
Yeah.
Pick up the gun. The whole time he's taking out all these people. I'm like, pick up that gun, Elizabeth Moss, and shoot him now. He's not even.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, it's a good scene. Really good movie. So now she's the Invisible Man. Are we gonna see? Any more? You think?
I was wondering about that because you know what's
I don't know what
so stupid, but you know where my mind goes? That she's a superhero and it's her origin story.
Well,
because it shows her. They made a point to show you that she's has
taking
the
it.
suit in her bag.
She clearly knows how it works. She's gonna.
Let's say they did. Okay, because they're now Blumhouse is doing a Dracula movie.
Yeah.
Let's say they do their own low budget. Because I think you have to do it that way, low budget.
Yeah.
Low budget MonsterVerse. And they do like Monster Squad or something. And
what is she going to do?
It's her. Dude, she's going to, I don't know, man.
I don't know
With an invisible suit, you can do a lot.
For one thing, she's pregnant. Did you remember they said she was pregnant.
With his kid.
That was terrible. That was awful. Like, he switched out her pills.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. Like, you know, that's the thing that a-hole guys like that probably do to trap women in those situations. But, I'm curious what. I was like, okay, well, she's taking the suit. I'm just thinking ahead, like, what?
No, me too.
I think. What's she gonna do?
But the thing is, if there's a sequel, there's really no story for a sequel.
Maybe she's fighting
Guys who
abusers.
domestically abuse. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it's not a horror movie then anymore.
Yeah, sure.
It's like a vigilante movie,
Yeah.
which you could do that.
Listen, that's what in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's what she does. When the next one with the new one. That's
Oh
came
yeah,
out,
yeah.
That's
Like
what she's
she
doing.
becomes
She's
a
going around.
vigilante afterwards.
Yeah,
and
for abused women. Yeah.
that's
So.
yeah, it's fair. Well, we're not going to watch any more movies in theaters for the rest of the year. But
Yeah.
as far as we'll be able to see VOD releases.
It's out today, right? Isn't it
Yeah,
out
it's on streaming, so go
Yeah.
watch it. If, it was perfect timing for us to talk about it. Go watch Invisible Man. We highly recommend it.
Yes.
Hopefully you're not watching this if you haven't seen it though. But so because we just spoiled
Did
the
we
whole
give
thing.
a spoiler
But no,
alert?
our
Yeah, I
title
don't know if we
of the
did.
video is going to be spoiler discussion
Yeah, there you
of
go.
the Invisible Man. So
Right.
Did you scream when she kicked the dog ball? Because I've never gotten so scared
Yes.
in my life.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, that moment, man. I didn't scream. I rarely jump or get startled at stuff, but that one I was like, because it's so quiet. Just tiptoeing around, so kicks the thing all the way across the floor, and you're like, oh
yeah,
my
that
god.
was crazy. And then the car alarm too.
Yeah, when the dog shows up and starts. Yeah,
I'm glad she took the dog with her too.
Yeah.
And they hinted that the dog was abused by him too.
Yep.
So he's an abusive person
just a
overall.
just a terrible guy. Yeah.
Because the dog wanted to leave.
All right.
Yeah, and he got the dog back after
Yeah.
she let it go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he must have went and searched for that dog.
Probably.
And brought it back. He's like, "You're not getting away from me,"
Well,
which is
yeah.
terrible.
How do you know where she was? That's the only thing too. She's waiting in there for the sister. And he comes running right down exactly. It's dark out there. There's no lights. Like,
That guy's
get
a,
outta
just a
Terrible
overall, but he's also, super intelligent, very physically fit, he can hop fences in barefoot and run through the forest in
Yes.
barefoot, all that stuff.
beat up cops.
Yeah, exactly.
Trained cops. Like,
He is invisible. Okay, gives him an edge, but
True.
still, the way he was fighting though was that FC like grabbing their arm and twisting it and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like he was a trained fighter.
yeah.
It was crazy. But yes, highly recommend the movie. So great.
Well
Okay.
done, Lee Winnell.
Awesome. So we're moving on to homework assignments, but I was thinking since we only have you who watched the homework assignment, maybe we switch it to where so you report on your homework and you give me an assignment and then it switches back, kind of like how we do you haven't seen what.
Okay.
But what difference with our show is it can be music, it can be a novel, a first couple episodes of a TV show,
Yes.
something like that. So I assigned you Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca. So what did you think, man?
Rebecca.
Was it tough
Alfred
to get?
Hitchcock.
Like, did it being an old movie bother you at all? Or
I love old movies.
Yeah.
Love them. Love classic films. It was a 1940 film. When it never was. It went back that far. And just reading about it. It was his first American film.
Yes.
Which is, it's really cool. And we're gonna have to do. I need to watch Rear Window, North by Northwest, Vertigo.
did this make you want to watch more Hitchcock movies?
Yeah, which I always have. I always
Yeah.
wanted to catch up on all of those. And there's a fourth one. What I want to watch. Notorious.
Yes. All of those are great.
I want to watch all
All of
those
those
and
are
do a Hitchcock episode.
Let's
We're
do
gonna have
it.
to-
I'll rewatch them too because
Yeah.
I've only seen most of them once.
It might take maybe 2 episodes to get through all this, but
True.
I want to watch all 4 of those and do that coming up soon. But yeah, man, the great Laurence Olivier himself,
Yes.
which is really
He's
cool.
so good
very
in this,
young
too.
and
Yeah.
handsome, good-looking guy there.
Yeah.
Hitchcock is, and I didn't recognize that Joan Fontaine is the actress name. She's quite
main
lovely,
actress?
very lovely woman.
She is
Very
very
lovely.
attractive.
Yes.
She's beautiful.
Like, wow, okay,
Yes,
she's
she's
great.
beautiful.
Yeah, this is a different. He didn't write this because I'm watching this and I'm like, this kind of.
Well, it's based on a novel.
a different- yeah, I didn't
That's
know
why
that.
I think we talked about it as a classic novel adaptation
Yes,
last week.
yeah, that's why. You mentioned it, and that's why. Yeah, oh, that's right. When watching it, so
So it's adapted from a screenplay, or the screenplay is adapted
that's from a
book,
novel. Yeah, a novel, which is it's very good, very very good. Won Best Picture of that year.
Yeah, so I was in a Hitchcock class, and we watched at least 10 Hitchcock movies. This was my favorite one.
Oh, really?
Yep.
This is your favorite?
This is my favorite. It's tied with Rear Window, but
Yeah.
I lean towards this one more. Do you understand how I said it reminds me of Gone Girl a little bit? It's not the same story or anything like that, but it reminds me of Gone Girl in a way where the woman character that the movie's about has such a presence while she's not on screen, and how she manipulates the whole situation.
Without actually. Well, see, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Is it felt more like. Because I was trying to think of a modern thing to compare it to, and I can now that you say it that way, I can see
the
that.
same story at all. I'm just saying it kind of reminds me of it in a certain way.
You know what I found interesting? The wife, Joan Fontaine's name. They never say her name.
They never say her name. She's Miss. I forget his last name, but
De Winter.
Yeah, Mrs. De Winter, and she's the second Mrs. De Winter, right after Rebecca.
Sorry, really quick. Let me just.
But yeah, it is De Winter.
Is it De Winter?
I believe it is De Winter.
Yeah.
So her name in the movie is Mrs. De Winter.
Yeah, De Winter.
They
yeah.
never say her first name.
Yeah. I just looking through the credits, and I was just looking up the cast, and I went
because you meet her in the movie well before she gets married to him.
She's working. She's just a personal companion for her, that one lady which is found interesting that she never popped up again in that movie.
Yeah.
In the rest of the movie, but she was she warned her too about all that, which makes me wonder how she, I guess in maybe just in those high circles, I guess word just got out.
The maid.
Wow. Great character, great actress, and I meant to look up and see what else she was in, but she was wow. I was really curious to see where this was all going to go.
It's a long movie.
Love the moment when she stands
long.
up. It's right at 2 hours. A little bit, that's like 2 hours
For
and 5
back
minutes.
then,
but that's super long for back
movie,
then. Yeah. I mean, Gone with the Wind, 4 hours.
I just been getting used to. Maybe horror movies were just short back then because I've been watching some classic horror films. There's like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
okay.
Right. A lot of those old Disney movies are all exactly 1 hour or whatever. So, but I love the moment where she finally stands up for herself. And it's like, I'm Mrs. De Winter now, and I thought. So I don't want to recap the whole thing, but when she is arranging that costume party,
and
I knew that was going to happen. The costume,
dude.
I thought she was going to do it on purpose. Though I thought she was going to be like, I'm going to turn into Rebecca.
Yeah, but the maid set her up.
The way that I'm like,
and the way he reacts to it, it was so heartbreaking.
Yeah, I'm like
that scene.
That's messed up. So I thought I was waiting to see what kind of where it's gonna go from there. But Mr.
De Winter, man, he's lucky man. She is like the most lovely woman ever, and he's just an a-hole to her.
Yeah, but I don't understand why. And I'm like, so
well, hates Rebecca. Oh, and I love that they reveal that. He hated Rebecca.
He hated her because she apparently was just not nice at all.
And the way they reveal, like what the scene that happened between them in the cab, in that little cabin down there.
Very well shot. That was really good.
So good.
I love that scene. How he's telling that story. Yeah, that was really, really good. And it just sucks. Because it's like it was an accident, but she clearly the result was what she wanted.
She was trying to get him to kill her.
Trying to get him to do it. Yeah. And the whole she lying about being pregnant and all that stuff. Like, jeez, and that woman sounded like so.
Well, I think that's why it reminds me of Gone Girl because that character in Gone Girl is freaking psycho
as
and
manipulative.
She does a similar type plan to just screw over this one guy,
right?
And so does the girl in Rebecca.
The difference I'll say is I totally get what you're saying.
Well, you never see Rebecca on screen.
You never see her, and Ben Affleck was not a good guy either in that movie
true,
as well.
True.
Whereas Max De Winter, he seemed like just a rich kind of probably,
and he's kind of rude to her. But that doesn't mean he's a bad person.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably fitting for that time, I think, because there's a lot of like the way he treats the new Mrs. De Winter. He's a little like, all right, now pouring my coffee. We're gonna get married. All right,
but
great.
that's how men talk to women, and they didn't think there was anything wrong with that.
Yeah. And she would,
and women, a lot of women were okay with it back then.
And a lot of the women in Hitchcock films are kind of get treated that way.
Yes,
to be honest, though. And he did it in real life as well. But it's really good. I really, really enjoyed this.
I'm so happy because first of all, I wasn't sure if you were gonna have time to watch it.
Yeah.
And second of all, I love this movie so much, so I was scared to have you watch it because I was gonna be disappointed if you didn't like it. Yeah.
Listen, I love classic movies.
Yeah.
My mom, I grew up watching it with my mom. She used to love AMC when they actually used to show classics, American movie classics. When I grew up watching all that stuff, so I love this. I can't wait to show this to her because I think she'll probably like it.
Oh, awesome!
So because I'll totally watch this again.
It's so good.
It's really, really good.
And I told you when I finished watching it, I was like, that movie had to be nominated for Best Picture, and I looked it up. Won Best Picture.
Yeah.
But Hitchcock wasn't a producer, so he didn't get an Oscar.
Right.
He's never won an Oscar. We talked about
And
that
from what
last
I'm
time.
looking at, it's just bear with me a second. I think it says it is. Well, it's maybe the only film or the first film since 36 to win Best Picture and no acting awards.
I think something like that.
It's something along those lines. Yeah, which is
I
crazy.
think I remember reading that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But
Well, that's awesome.
all right.
That makes me happy, man. All right,
Yes.
cool. So
Loved
do
it.
you have a homework assignment for me for next show?
well, I do. We'll get to that album later.
Oh, the
Another
Jay-Z
album.
one.
Yeah,
So
the Jay-Z
we're
album. We'll get to
switching
it
up
later.
the way we're going to do homework assignments. We're going to, like, Keith is going to challenge me to one, and then next show I challenge him to one. So we'll go back and forth.
I will have you watch the first 2 episodes of, because we just talked about it, Peaky Blinders on Netflix.
All right. There's
Just the
my
first 2.
challenge. And
If you're not into
I
it,
have
then-
a feeling I'm going to get hooked, but we'll see.
That's why I said first 2.
Honestly,
See where it goes.
thank you for doing that because that forces me to do it. So I don't have a choice.
It's they're about an hour-ish, a little less than an hour, maybe about 50 minutes or so.
You know,
so.
I think I have some time.
Sure, exactly.
I challenge you both to watch Upgrade.
I would love to watch Upgrade.
will.
Lee Winnell,
Watch Invisible Man.
I challenge
Yeah.
myself to watch Onward.
he was in Aquaman. Lee Winnell, he was the pilot.
Was he?
Yeah, he was flying when he was flying them to like Egypt or whatever.
what?
When they were flying in the desert and they jumped out of the plane, he was the
The
pilot.
director of
Yeah.
Invisible Man
Invisible Man
and
and-
Upgrade.
Which I haven't seen. Have you seen Upgrade?
I haven't. No, that's
No,
why
I'm
he
sorry. You
challenged
just
us.
said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Yeah. People they're saying it's like a Venom movie.
Oh, like him and the AI have a relationship,
Yeah,
like type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
because people wanted him to direct Venom.
controls him because it's in his.
But it doesn't it talk to him too? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people were saying it's like a Venom movie. He should direct Venom. Yeah, so
Awesome. Well, I will definitely watch at least the first 2 episodes of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Give my thoughts, and I'll probably watch more if I like it, if I enjoy it.
there are only 6 each season. Like I said, it's only 6. That's why I said just 2, because just from there, cause you can go through it actually pretty quickly. But just give it the first 2 and see how you like it.
Awesome.
I recommend subtitles as well.
Oh,
Very.
that's what I heard. Yeah, it's kind of
Yes.
like Snatch. You
Yes.
have to. You have to. It's almost like it's another language. All right, well, it's time to turn the page and go
Yes.
to our last segment of the show where we make literature recommendations. And I have one that I chose, but let's go to you, Keith. What do you have this week for
Me
your literature
bring
recommendation?
It back up. I just lost it.
Here, I'll go ahead and go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm sure we must have talked about this before, but obviously we're all Star Wars fans in our group. I recommend How Star Wars Conquered the Universe.
Ooh, I've been wanting to read that. I've never read it.
Man,
I've been listening to Ken Napsok's 100 Moments Why We Love Star
Oh,
Wars. It's
yeah.
really good.
I should. Okay.
I enjoy it very much.
Yeah. So well, this one's kind of a similar fashion. This guy Chris Taylor. I mean, he gets into the whole
Well,
thing of
dude, so many people recommend that.
Yes,
So like
it's so
if you're a Star Wars fan, it's like a must read.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. It leads right into up to the sale, the Pixar Lucasfilm sale to.
Oh, really?
His meeting with Bob
Okay.
Iger and how he talked him, just took him to lunch and talked him into selling Lucasfilm to him, and how that deal got done. And it's a great. I'm telling you, it goes Lucas's childhood, the car crash. The famous car crash, which there's pictures of in the
Wow.
paper of Modesto, I think, where he grew up, and not too far from us
Yeah.
here in Sacramento. And yeah, just the whole concept of. I'm telling you, you read about all the stuff, like all his ideas. Everything leading up to all the stuff that we know, it's some crazy stuff. I can't imagine being a studio person because so many studios turn it down because they're like, we don't know what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he had to make up all these words for everything and what all this stuff is.
The Force.
And- yeah.
And just all that stuff.
Oh, just
yeah.
Wookiee, like
Well, in any.
lightsaber, all that stuff. He
It
didn't
wasn't
make all that
the
up.
first space movie ever made.
No,
with
not at all.
Aliens or
Sci-fi
anything
was big
like
at the
that.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
so. But I guess there hadn't been such a rich world of
No,
with just hundreds of different little details of
Exactly.
things that had to be named.
Exactly.
Where Earth doesn't even exist. in the
Exactly,
thing.
and set in the past technically, like you
Yeah.
know, it sounds so insane. I can imagine being an executive.
Can
and
you
hearing that,
imagine
like,
the executives who denied it and then afterwards?
yes, they get into that. That's what
Do
happened.
they?
Yes,
They must have been
but by
fired.
the time he was making, 100%. By the time that's how he got the Howard the Duck. That's how he got that made.
Oh.
He was talking to some
That
comic
one
book
didn't
guys.
turn out that great.
No, it didn't. But at the time, the studios were like, "Hey, it's a Lucas. It's your idea, Lucas. Yeah, whatever you want, we'll do it."
Yeah.
Because he wanted it to be animated, but they couldn't animate it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it's a fascinating tale, and deep into him and his divorce and all that stuff. Everything.
Wow.
All Star Wars all through the '90s, where it kind of had the little lull a little bit, and back into the re-releases and then the prequels and everything. It's really, really good. It's really good.
I've been wanting to check that out for a while. I haven't finished Ken Knopf's book, so that wasn't my recommendation. But funny enough, my recommendation is a Star Wars book.
Yeah.
And you know this book, but these are for recommendations to the audience out there. And that is my favorite Star Wars canon novel is Bloodline. The Princess Leia based blood movie, or not movie, but it feels like a movie. It feels like a movie, but
So
it takes place 6 years before The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And it's basically a political thriller.
Yes.
And it's such a the way Claudia Gray is an amazing writer.
She's the best Star Wars writer.
Oh, absolutely. Claudia Gray is amazing. She wrote Leia, Princess of Alderaan. She wrote Master and Apprentice. She wrote
have
one
Master-
more. Oh,
just downloaded
Lost
Master.
Stars, which is
The best.
again in the top 5 of these novels. No, Bloodline.
Definitely not the best.
Bloodline is the best.
Bloodline's the best.
I love Bloodline so much. It's so good. It doesn't even if it wasn't a Star Wars book, it just feels
So good.
It's so well told,
good.
and the new characters that they introduced.
Yeah.
And Ransom Casterfo, one of my favorite new characters introduced in all of
Yeah.
Star Wars canon. So go check out if you were trying to get into some Star Wars novels. It was my very first one that I read. And
Yeah.
I just instantly
Same
fell in
here.
love with it. I've never. Yes, there it is. There's the hard copy.
Vader.
I never basically I kind of want to say I've never read a book twice, but I've read The Great Gatsby more than once. But I've never read a book twice in such a short period of time. Within
Yeah.
1 year, I went through it twice. I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
done that. And I enjoyed it the second time just as much.
I've
or
read it
even
multiple
more.
times as well. Yeah.
And I pick up. It's like watching a movie the second time. You pick up on other details and things like that. So,
Yeah.
and just those things, the way they introduce Ransom Casterfo. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't read it, but the journey that his character goes through basically is so good. And I recommend Bloodline.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Star Wars recommendations. Maybe we'll coordinate and say, hey, do you have a Star Wars one this week? Maybe I'll do a different one. But yes, check those books out. And that's going to do it for Bartley and Barnes this week. That was our shortest episode to date. It's an hour and 2 minutes.
Yes.
That should be the normal runtime. But I guess we didn't have that much to talk about. But I love talking Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Go check that movie out if you haven't seen it. But if you have, watch it again. It's on VOD.
man.
All right, that's going to do it for Jacob Bartley, Keith Barnes, Bartley and Barnes. We will see you all next time.
Stay healthy.
Yes, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Watch the movies,
Do the
watch
right
some
thing.
TV.
Social distancing. Do the right thing.
Exactly.
Take care of yourselves.
Oh,
What's it called?
Canon Connection.